Hi, welcome to Garden Guns. A little bit of a different one, not my regular content. Today we're talking about a scope. For those of you that saw my first impressions on the Lightning CLX, oh, pardon me, you'll know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about this little beauty. It is the Vector Optics Veyron. It's a 4x16 by 40, oh crikey, black lung, 44 IR scope. First focal plane this one. It's part of the Veyron line. They also do a second focal plane scope, which is a bit cheaper. I believe this one's going out around about 230, I think, £230 at the moment. And the the second focal plane is going out around about the 180, 190 mark. Anyway, what do you get in the box? First of all, packaging is quite nice. In the box, you get what sort of is, for those of you that remember it, a sort of a tracing paper instructional card, paper bit. It just brings you through the warranty, the 5-year warranty on the scope, basic introduction, and it gives you a little QR code to scan so that you can get the full instruction set online from Vector Optics. In the box itself, as I've already said, the packing is nice, decent bit of foam there for the safety. Little bag of silica gel to keep the moisture out. You get a little baggie which has a cleaning cloth inside. It's actually attached to the baggie. You get a set of scope mounts, which is good. You get a battery, little button battery for the illuminated reticle. So basically straight out of the box, everything's good to go. The scope itself has flip-up scope covers, which are pretty nice. They seem all right. They're not the most expensive, but you know, they're free. They come with a scope and they do the job absolutely perfectly. The scope itself is very compact. The turrets, let's see if we can get the clicky sound. Oh, so clicky. The turrets I really like. They're really positive to adjust, and one of the really natty things about them is once you've zeroed the rifle in, for those of you that might want to dial, you've got a little tool in the box that allows you to loosen off the screw on the top and actually adjust the barrel so you can set your 0 point to 0, so that if you do want to dial for adjustment, you can start at 0 and work up and down from there. Gives you a good frame of reference, and you can do that for your windage as well on the side. It is side focus, so you've got a good side focus wheel, parallax wheel on the side. It's stiff, but not so much so that it causes discomfort. I had a Element Optics Helix, and that scope was amazing, but the side focus wheel on that was so stiff, it was a little bit uncomfortable to use. And then also on the other side of the side focus wheel, you've got the adjustment for the on-off, and then the the intensity adjustment for the illuminated reticle. On the back here, you've got your zoom ring, which gives you on this one a zoom between 4 and 16, and then you've got your eye bell adjustment, for your tired old eyes like mine. Basically, it brings the scope, allows people with old eyes to adjust it so that the reticle is in sharp focus. I will be playing with this later to show you when I'm trying to do the crosshairs on camera, because it's a bit of a ball ache. What else can I say about this? Nice and solid, well made, feels good. Yeah, natty little scope. Right. Let me set up so that I can try and show you the reticle on camera. Bear with me. Right. Sorry about this. It's going to be a bit half-arsed. I've got to wear my glasses. What I'm going to try and do is show you the reticle and show you how a first focal plane works for those of you that haven't really seen it. I'll come on to describing it in a minute. But I just want to show you. So this is currently set up at 16 times mag, 16 times zoom. I'm going to try and keep this in shot, and I am going to wind down the zoom, and what you should be seeing is the reticle, if I can keep it in shot, getting smaller and smaller, and the distance between the mil dots shrinking and shrinking and shrinking. That's down to 6. Now I found when I was using this, 6 for me was round about the limit for my tired old eyes. Anything lower than 6, let's see if I can show you that. So that is now down at 4. I could barely make out the dot at 4. You know, it really wasn't great. So what I'm going to do is wind it back up now, and we should, in theory, if I can keep this all married up, we should in theory be able to see the space between the mil dots. God, I'm doing a terrible job here. Let's just wind it all the way up to 16, and then I'll reset the camera. You can see those mil dots getting bigger and bigger. I'm going to have to do a little bit of adjustment in a minute. So that is all the way back to 16. Let me adjust this. Oh, come on, camera. There we go. So you can see that basically the reticle has got big again, and it's far easier to see. Now, I think we're going to stop on this bit here because I'm doing a terrible job. You'll see it in the footage. But at least you should have seen the reticle get larger and smaller. So basically, on this, the difference between the second focal and the first focal plane scope is on a second focal plane scope, which, you know, you guys are, I certainly am far more used to using. The reticle is a consistent size, and that basically means if you set your, you know, if you're shooting at 10 times mag, 10 times zoom, and you know your mil dot for, you know what your drop is. You've zeroed at 30, but you're shooting out to 40, so you know that you're using 1 mil dot. When you increase that mag to 16, 17, 18, that mil dot, that 1 mil dot that you were using at 40 yards for your 30 yard zero, will not be the same. It'll be, you know, you'll be using a different graduation on the reticle, a different mil dot. With a first focal plane scope, as you can see, when you zoom in and out, the reticle itself actually gets bigger and smaller, thereby staying true. This basically means if you've zeroed, say at 30 yards, we use 30 yards again, and you're shooting at 40 at 10 times zoom, when you increase your mag to 16, or, you know, well, on this one, 16 times zoom, the mil dot that you were using at 10 times zoom will be the same mil dot that you use at 16 times zoom. So if you're the sort of shooter that tends to adjust your magnification to suit the distances that you're shooting over, then a first focal plane scope makes an awful lot of sense. If you're all like me and you tend to use the same mag pretty much over the 30 to 40 yards, which is, you know, my normal distances for hunting with an air gun, then, you know, you can get away with a second focal plane scope. You know, you're not really going to use the advantages of that first focal plane reticle. I hope that made sense. Yeah, I hope that made sense. It made sense to me in my head anyway. Let's wind this back in, otherwise the back will fall off. Right, let's talk about the scope overall. So as I said, you know, you're paying a bit more for the luxury of having that second focal plane reticle, and it's a bit marmitey. People are either going to really like it or really, really hate it. The scope itself, as I've already said, I think is phenomenally well made for the money. Nice and solid, clicky turrets. I find all the adjustment on it very positive and nice. Well dampened, I think is the correct words. Oh, pardon me, windy pops. What else can I say about this? The fact it comes with mounts is nice. It's got a battery for the IR, which is also nice, and it's got the scope covers. That's a great bonus. I mean, it is ready to go out of the box. This is a compact scope, and herein lies my major issue with this scope. As I've already said, I originally bought this scope to use on the Ultra, the CLX that I've bought, that I'm currently testing. The issue with it being a compact scope means there's not a lot of real estate on the tube for adjustment once you've set the scope rings. And as I use the arrestor stud on a spring, I'm setting a scope up on a springer, I do use the arrestor stud that's in the scope mounts. It sort of fixes that rear scope ring, which means when you've only got a small amount of tube, you've not got a lot of forward or after, backwards or forward adjustment, front or after adjustment on this bit here. Which, when it came to setting this scope up on the Lightning, I shot it both with the arrestor block on, and I took the arrestor block off and just used the normal scope rails on the cylinder. I couldn't set this scope up to give me a comfortable firing position, which basically meant I was trying to shoot, I was adjusting my position on the rifle to suit the position of the scope, rather than having the scope set up on the rifle for my ideal shooting position. So basically that meant I struggled to get a consistent position on the rifle to shoot, and that was coming out in my testing and in my grouping. I could see that, and I've subsequently changed the scope to one of my older scopes, and I've seen a dramatic improvement. I have effectively a fixed firing position. I'm repeating that firing position over and over again, and I struggled to do that with this. I would see the bonus of this scope. This would suit a rifle that has a long scope rail that allows you to adjust the position. You have a fixed position of the mounts on the scope, and then change the position of the scope on the rail. Basically adjust the mounts on the rail that way, and set your scope up around that. So using this on, say, a compact PCP, something like a Uragan or a AGT Vixen, an FX Streamline, anything along those lines, or even an R10, this would be absolutely perfect. Anything that you've got a large magazine cutout will also necessitate you using higher mounts with. Something like the R10 is absolutely perfect because the magazine fits in under the rail's consistent, and the same with my Dreamline Tactical. This scope would be ideal for that. Having said that, I'm not going to keep this scope. I'm going to basically take the hit on it and sell it back to the shop and use the money to put towards another rifle. All of the scopes I've got currently on all of my rifles work absolutely perfectly, and as such, I'm struggling. Never say never. I'm working this pattern, this current shift pattern that I'm on. There's no way I can get down to the shop this week, so this isn't going to go back this week, and I could have changed my mind by next week, so don't hold me to this. But at the moment, I'm thinking I'm going to give this scope back to the shop and get a credit, less obviously. Yeah, I'm not going to get full price back on it. So yeah, I don't really, at the moment I can't really see a use for it, although literally just talking about the Dreamline has got me thinking. I've got a day-night scope on the top of that at the moment, and I don't actually have. Having said that, I'm going to take it back. I might change my mind and keep it. But anyway. Oh no, now I'm in a quandary. Do I keep it? I mean, that would give me a spare scope for the FX Streamline. I really do like this scope. It is good. I think it's great value for money. I tell you what do you guys think? Should I keep it, or should I get the credit for another air rifle? Anybody that's got a Veyron, please mention in the comments below how you found it. I tell you what, I'll take a poll. Let's see how many of you think I should keep it. How many of you think I should trade it in? Let's face it, I'm not going to get its full price back. And I am going to have to get a separate set of scope mounts, because I got the standard dovetail mounts for use on the CLX, and I'm going to need Picatinny mounts for use on the Dreamline. But yeah, what do you guys think? Should I keep it or should I trade it in? Anyway, with that, I think, to sum up, I think that says it all. The fact that I'm actually thinking, I don't really need it, but I like it so much I might just keep it just in case. I think that kind of tells you all you need to know about what I think about this scope. Bearing that in mind, I'm going to draw the video to an end. Thank you very much for watching. I hope it's been of interest. I hope the little, I know it's a bit, well, it was very wobbly. I hope the scope cam footage worked. I hope it sort of, I hope I did a halfway decent job of explaining second focal plane and first focal plane differences. Yeah, thanks for watching. Stay safe, and I look forward to making the next video. All the best.